Let's do a little bit of financial reporting here, shall we? I do like to talk about this. It's just every once in a while you see an article come along. Most of the time it's pretty crap, but this time around, okay, we're talking about taxes. Very exciting stuff, right? Here's how much you spend after receiving your paycheck and how Gen Z and millennials use it. Okay, what are we talking about here? Let's take a look. The average American spends more than a third of their paycheck within the first 12 hours of receiving it. Really? According to new research, a survey of 2,000 employed Americans split evenly by generation revealed that this was essentially true for millennials, one of the high spending generations today, who spend on average 40% within those first few hours, more than any other group. Still, the average American, by 48 hours, nearly half, 48% of their average paycheck is already spent. That money's already spent. It's already gone. You liar. You liar. Nobody's going to get that reference. Anyways, most of the early spending goes towards essentials, okay? More than half of respondents said that they cover groceries and necessities, 52%, as soon as they receive their paycheck. Yes, others pay bills due within a week. That's the way that I go about things, 48%, and 42% take care of major obligations like housing or credit cards. About 1 in 3 also knock out smaller bills such as utilities or subscriptions. Yeah, I just normally take care of all of my bills off rip, and then from there, then we'll figure out what happens with the rest of it. That leaves over a half of each paycheck, 52%, to stretch across the rest of the pay cycle. This may be why only 28% prioritize putting money into savings immediately. But wouldn't you consider that also another expenditure? Wouldn't that be kind of taking care of bills? That's the way that I look at it, but okay. Conducted by Talker Research on behalf of Earnin, the survey also revealed that some Americans have payday down to a science. Yeah, buddy, some people plan this stuff, huh? Nearly 2 in 5 millennials, 38% map out their spending in advance, while a third of Gen X, 32%, even time their payments to the moment their paycheck arrives. Still, a little more than 1/3 of respondents, 34%, admit that they overspend in days following payday, with 52% of Gen Z and 45% of millennials sharing that same sentiment. Yeah, I can kind of imagine some people are out there just spurging. I was going to say spurging. It's like, no, that doesn't make sense here. Well, kind of, I guess. Of those, the main driver for overspending is that their bill due dates are stacked disproportionately earlier in the month, followed by having overdue bills. I mean, like, if you can't keep track of that, you probably have too many bills. I'm just saying, man, consolidate some shit, bro. Gen Z respondents reported feeling distinct external pressures tied to payday. 1 in 5, 22%, said that they feel compelled to spend as soon as money lands in their account. They have the metaphorical hole burning in their pocket, and 18% admit that they spend to keep up with friends who earn more. God, how stupid. The survey revealed that most respondents, 52%, are paid on a bi-weekly basis. And nearly 3/4, 73%, are stressed about their financial situation. Additionally, 62% of the respondents say that being paid daily or as they work would improve their financial wellness. No, it wouldn't, because you just find yourself in a different situation. Still are stressed out because you can't plan shit. Okay, during a typical month, 54% of Gen Z and 43% of millennials often feel strapped for cash, compared to just 18% of boomers. In fact, the average Gen Zer has spent 10 times the amount baby boomers have on overdraft or late fees. Holy shit, over the last 12 months, $275 versus $27. That is absolutely wild. Just the financial illiteracy of the younger generation. That's wild. This gap underscores how outdated financial systems disproportionately affect younger workers. Well, ones that are just fucking stupid. You're wasting your money on superfluous fees because you have an inability to plan. What are you doing? Gen Z is spending 10 times more on overdraft and late fees than boomers, not because they're less responsible. No, it's because they're less responsible, but because they're navigating tighter margins within an infrastructure that hasn't adapted to their needs. Yo, that's just some stupid shit. According to the results, only 15% of those polls have heard of earned wage access or a benefit that allows employees to access a portion of their wages as they work rather than wait for the 2-week pay cycle. Yeah, if you want to be that kind of nudge, you're going to find yourself in a different category at work, being a little bit more of a troublemaker. But hey, to each their own, I suppose. And so, yeah, man, it's interesting. It's interesting how little planning, how little budgetary means and methods are being employed by Gen Z, Gen X, millennials, not boomers. It's interesting. They seem to have this all down pat. They didn't do a goddamn thing at teaching their kids anything. Once again, boomers, the most selfish generation. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.